EIP 1559 went live today, August 5th, 2021, and as of right now, 9:26 p.m. when I'm filming this, it's already burned over, let me check, 3,247 ETH right now at 9:26 p.m. So yeah, it's burning a lot of money. I'll do the calculation later and put it somewhere right there how much money that is. So I just want to spend a few minutes with you to try and explain what EIP 1559 is and what it means to you as a possible Ethereum investor. The Ethereum Improvement Protocol, that's what EIP means. 1559 went live today, August 5th, 2021. Basically, what this protocol is going to do is going to take a portion of the fees that used to be granted to miners, and instead of giving them to the miners, it's just going to be burnt, meaning deleted. It's just going to be taken away from existence, out of the circulating supply is the right term. Instead, miners will only be compensated for their mining efforts with tips from those who are making these transactions, sending Ethereum from one address to another. These tips are pretty much going to be the only compensation that miners are going to get from now on. So before we go deeper into what this protocol will do, I want to go over a couple other topics first to make sure that you as the viewer understand why this is a big deal. The burning of Ethereum, taking them out of circulation, why this will have huge impacts in the future for this network. In order to do that, I've actually brought in a special guest today, Dr. Donald G. Tall, and he's going to explain a couple different topics surrounding inflation and deflation. So, Dr. Donald, thank you for joining us on the show. Please go ahead.
Yes, thank you for the introduction, Freak, and once again, thank you for having me on the show. Yeah, so, if you're familiar with the idea of inflammation. I meant inflation. You know that as there is more supply of money, the less that certain currency is worth, okay?
Yes,
So,
I
as an
agree.
example, there are a smaller amount of Mercedes-Benzes produced per year than Toyotas, right? So, there is a smaller supply of them. So, in order to meet the higher demand, there is a higher price put on them besides all the other advantages one has over the other. The US dollar or any other country's currencies, these are inflationary currencies because their country's governments can increase the supply or at least the bank supply to lend at will.
Mm.
This leads to inflation
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
the more of it that there is, the less value that it has. Okay, so that's inflation. Now, deflation is, on the opposite side of that. We all want what we own to be worth more, right? So how do we do that? The less of them that there are in the world, the more that they could be worth, assuming that the demand is there in the first place. So, can fiat currencies do this in the real world? Sure, yeah. In the US, for example, the Fed has various methods of making it less worthwhile for banks to lend this money out to consumers like us, essentially taking money out of circulation and unprinting the money. Now, Bitcoin is considered a deflationary asset because it has been hard coded into Bitcoin itself that there will ever only be 21 million coins in existence. And that's set to be finished being put into circulation around the year 2150. So we've got a lot of time for that. When people pass away or lose access to their wallets, these bitcoins that are stored on these addresses are lost forever and
Oh,
essentially
okay.
taken out of circulation, out of the
Huh.
circulating supply. So it reduces the supply that can be used by regular users. Therefore, it adds value to the currency itself by making it more rare. So, kind of, this is what EIP 1559 is trying to accomplish with Ethereum. It will delete or burn the Ethereum tokens that are typically sent out to miners as transaction fees and delete them and take them out of circulation. So, back to you, Freak.
Thank you for that explanation, Doctor. You look good, as always. Now, as you can see with Ethereum, it has no max supply like Bitcoin does. EIP 1559, it won't change that, but it will reduce the number of new Ethereum tokens that are introduced into the market every single day. Currently, new Ethereum tokens are minted every time a new block is mined or verified and put onto the blockchain. These new tokens plus the transaction fees that users pay in order to move their funds around from one address to another. These funds are given to miners in order to compensate them for their mining efforts and keeping the network up and running. Now, here is a good visualization of how these transaction fees or gas fees work. So each train shows the current gas fee in order for you to send your transaction through and get verified into the blockchain. As you can see, each of these trains have the price written on top. It goes from high to low. So for those who want to pay more, they get to go first and they get to go faster. And for those who want to pay less, well, they have to wait in line. So that's just how the cookie crumbles. Or as you might want to put it, that's how the Bitcoin digitizes. I don't know. So we know that currently miners get the block rewards plus the fees from the users. After the upgrade, the base fees, which are determined by how full the block is with other transactions, these base fees will be burned. So what incentive will miners have to keep mining then? While they definitely are getting the short end of the stick in this deal, they still get to keep the block rewards, and users will have an option to add a tip on top of their transaction in order to speed it up. Just the tip. So although EIP 1559 is supposed to remove the guesswork out of how much gas fees will be required in order to send a transaction, most of it still sounds the same for most users, but the reduction in mining fees is definitely a negative for the miners. Also, we'll have to see if this deflationary tactic will work to increase the price of Ethereum in the future. This is what the price did on the first day, so it is looking promising so far, but it's not long term yet, so we'll just have to see what happens. If you want more information on this protocol, I have included a link below from cryptobriefing.com. Check it out, read more up on it. I think it's pretty good information. Whatever your thoughts are on the new protocol, I think this is at least a good step towards Ethereum 2.0, where the network is moving away from proof of work and giving miners the rewards, rather to proof of stake where the holders get the rewards. Anyway, I'm really excited to see what ends up happening with this new protocol. I am excited for Ethereum 2.0. I hope Ethereum goes to $1 billion per coin. I know what that's going to do with the market cap. I'm just saying, I hope the whole financial system crumbles because one Ethereum costs the entire GDP of whatever country you live in. So yeah, I appreciate you watching my video. Please subscribe, please like if you enjoy this content, if you enjoy me babbling about magical internet money. I appreciate your views and hope to see you next time.